Hunter loyalists, get up off your seats. There's something important I want to tell you. So to the 2018 Hunter main loyalists, you will remember a little super called Barrage. That was meta at that time. After the Forsaken meta, it was then deemed that Barrage was nerfed. It has then since had no significance in the game since then, really. Although there was a time during Season of the Haunted, if you remember Classy Restoration, we was using a bit of Barrage then to do Solar Flawless duality and stuff. But other than that, there's never been a good time for Barrage. There's always been, everything else has always been better. Nighthawk has always been better. Well, I can tell you now, because of Edge of Fate rework stats, Barrage Star Eater Scales is now doing more damage than Celestial Nighthawk Golden Gun, even on Prismatic. It is out damaging that. So you can think about Barrage completely differently as opposed to what you used to. I'll get the disclaimer out of the way and then I'll get into this video. The obvious problem with this is that Barrage isn't on Prismatic, and I think it should be. It's one of the most fun supers in the game and should be, and it isn't. And what we've got to recognise is that Prismatic has more kits than Gunslinger, but that is obvious. That's rookie stuff. We understand it's got Ascension. We understand it's got Grapple Melee. We understand that. But there's always a but to it. You can still have insane survivability with solo hunters, and it's very simple on how to do it. Let me show you it. Number 1, put on Healing Aid. Number 2, put on Ember of Empyrean. Number 3, use a well-rolled legendary solo weapon or an exotic solo primary, and you will have a fun time in endgame. You will be able to survive at minus 40, minus 50, maybe even minus 60 delta. And don't tell me that isn't possible, because you're only going to motivate me to do that. You will be able to survive at 50 and 60 levels under with the components I've just told you. So you can use Barrage builds in endgame. But obviously Prismatic is better with other things that it has. But that's not the point of the video. The point is, can you build into Barrage? And you can, because of the super stat. The super stat distribution is completely reworked, and in my opinion for the better. When you overcharge your super stat above 100, you get a damage bonus. Now, disclaimer again, the stats that is slightly different. All Star Eater Skills test was done with a 1868 super stat. All of the tests done with Nighthawk was 166. There was a slight difference. That's 1% damage difference. I hope you can forgive me for that. The reason why it is because I haven't got the time to go and get the right Nighthawk to get 168. So just forgive me for 1%, please. Seriously, you're a stickler. It's like that lad in the back of the classroom. Hang on a minute, you're 1% wrong. No, I'm not. Get out. You kicked out detention. So that's it. I've told you it. So let's get some ground rules what I've done with each test. So first and foremost, with the Prismatic test, I allowed for bells and whistles. And I mean Facet of Courage for the damage bonus, with Fretted Spike to get the Darkness debuff, plus Radiant with Ember of Torches. That allows to get the damage bonus with the Golden Gun Nighthawk rotation on Prismatic. So I even pop my Transcendence. But I'm not allowing for nades. If I throw my Transcendence nade, it will skew with the tests complete. I don't want to throw a Transcendence nade. You should understand why I don't want to, although we would in real-time gameplay. We are just really comparing the supers, but with bells and whistles, I'm allowing for Facet of Courage, Radiant, and so on and so forth. So that's what I done with Prismatic. With the Gunslinger, it was different. So I done 3-shot Golden Gun with Star Eater Skills. I also done Nighthawk Golden Gun as well, with the allow of Radiant. So I threw my knife trick to allow for Radiant buff. I was allowing for that. And making sure I got 6 orbs of power as well, of course, for the Star Eater Skills. And for Nighthawk, it's pretty straightforward and simple. Just throw my knife for Radiant. With the Blade Barrage test, there is no Radiant buff for Blade Barrage, but I still threw my melee knife trick anyways, just to make it a little bit more consistent between the free shot and the Nighthawk shot and the Blade Barrage. I throw a knife trick every time. All right, we're allowing for that. We are allowing for that. You've got to allow for some wiggle room with that. So that's what the test we was doing with this. We are in a solar meta. So like I just said there, we are in a solar meta. We've got Radiant Shrapnel, so there's lots of ways to build Gunslinger and buff him up. Got Fever and Chill. There's all sorts of things going on, like I just said before there. There is still survivability for the Blade Barrage. I'm trying to think what else I've missed, if I've missed anything. I think I've established all the ground rules. I'm going to give you the numbers between it using the test haul. I'm not looking for DPS. I just want to know damage. We just want to know damage. We're not looking for DPS. So that's what we've done with that. On with the tests. Okay, so here's the empirical evidence for the core house to show you that these numbers. We're in the testing hall. I'm going to go deep for the prismatic test first. We pass it to courage, radiant melee, darkness debuff, all of that with Nighthawk. This is your bells and whistle transcendence pop. 17,663. That's your bells and whistles prismatic Nighthawk shot without nade. We're not nading. I've told you why we're not grenading. With a 166 super stat. 1760 is the first number. Right, now let's test Gunslinger Nighthawk damage with Radiant buff for Nighthawk. Let's see what that damage is. It's obviously going to be similar. There we go. 16,060 it's going to go to. We're going to allow for the burn. Just allow for it, whatever. Just let the... until the number stops. We'll allow for burn. That's fine. Similar number, right? That's your numbers. 16 and 17,663 on Nighthawk damage. Now, let's test Star Eater skills, free shot golden gun. Let's see where that actually is, because that needs to be looked at. Let's see the damage. 15,478, which in my opinion is not worth it. You would never run this. I would never run this setup. And the numbers show that as well. What's the point? But I'm just showing you that's what it does with a 168 super stat. Because all my Star Eater skills was 168. Now, for the final clip that's going to blow your mind, Blade Barrage, Radiant Melee, 18,213. Beaten out Prismatic Goldie by nearly 1,000. That, I mean, obviously there's a 1% difference, but that is incredible, man, for Blade Barrage. There you go. That's the proof for the courthouse. And this is a bonus footage. Silk Strike is fantastically strong, although it's a Roman super, right? So we can't test it to a Blade Barrage. But I'm just showing you the amount of damage Star Eater skills with Silk Strike does is incredible. Just watch this damage. The optimal damage with Silk Strike is light, 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 and then a heavy right before the super ends. Watch. So you do light, 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 heavy at the end, and then let's just see the damage compared to what we've done. Obviously, it's going to be more than the rest, but look at that. That's two Blade Barrage worths of damage. Silk Strike's OP as well. But that's the Blade Barrage video. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.